What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Humble Warrior back at you with another video. I just watched a segment on what's it called? Nightcap, where Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco had a segment entitled "Should the Dolphins Replace Tua Tagovailoa with Michael Penix Jr.?" It actually said Joe Cladd, who's a ESPN analyst and college football analyst, he basically said that Tua's time is up in Miami and that they should look to draft Michael Penix Jr., the lefty from Washington, based on his stellar 2 years that he had at Washington. And he thinks that he would be a great replacement for Tua. He said that, basically paraphrasing, but I guess this season was not enough to show that Tua's the answer. Matter of fact, the last 2 seasons were not enough. Or his whole body of work, which if you actually watch, if you've seen any of his games or if you follow any of his career, year by year by year, he kept doing this. So if you're doing this and you're not doing this, what am I missing? He only played 4 seasons. Granted, he was hurt. He missed games. He also had concussions last season. This season was his first full season. He played all 17 games. And he posted a 11-6 record in 17 games. They did pick up the 5th-year option, and he's going into the season with possible contract talks of either an extension or a brand new contract. However, doesn't negate the fact that replacing him with Michael Penix Jr. will do nothing. They're already in odds with Christian Wilkins, Xavier Howard. They also have other pieces that they're trying to shed off to bring in better free agents. And you're talking about Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, who should still be there. Jeff Wilson's very unhappy with their offense, so he might be gone. Devon Achane seems to be a legitimate number 2 backup to Mostert, and they're thinking about possibly bringing a 3rd running back in at some point. But the centerpiece of all this is Tua. What are you going to get and replace in his, if you have to get rid of him, what do you get in return? 2 third-round picks, 3rd and the 4th. I mean, depending on the team that, the Titans need a quarterback. No, they don't. I take that back. Atlanta definitely needs a quarterback bad. Do you send Tua to Atlanta? I mean, do you send him to Pittsburgh? That's a cold weather team, but do you send him to Pittsburgh, Atlanta? I'm a Jacksonville. They need a quarterback too, because Trevor Lawrence is not the answer. Just gonna be blunt with you. But replacing him with Michael Penix wouldn't make any sense because, one, Michael Penix is a rookie coming to the league. I'm not saying that he won't have a great season. We don't know. We also don't know what team is going to actually draft him. Because right now, the only guaranteed quarterback off the board is Caleb Williams. The rest of them are toss-ups. Now, people are saying that J.J. McCartney is picking up steam because of the way he performed last season, but that does not guarantee him a first-round slot. So, however, let me not get off on that slide. Tua put up almost 4,600 yards this season, 29 touchdowns. I think he had 14 picks. Had a passer rating of 105. So his QBR was in the top 15 this past season. So what exactly are you replacing him for? Potential? We're not going to speak the injury issues or whatever may come or whatever. We're not going to speak about that, but what exactly are you going to be replacing him with? Because Michael Penix hasn't thrown one ball in the NFL. And the only possible outcome you can get is, well, he might mesh well with Waddle and Hill. We don't know what he's going to do. And the mere fact that Joe Cladd said that Tyreek Hill had adjusted so many underthrown balls by Tua. Tyreek did not adjust that much this past season. If you look at some of the routes that Tyreek ran, Tyreek was running the wrong route. Tua threw him where he's supposed to be at, which made Tyreek adjust his body to run the correct route to catch the ball deep. The Washington Commanders game, he did run the wrong route. The New England Patriots game. Then you got the game like the Chargers, threw him in stride. The Eagles game, threw him in stride. The only game or two that I've seen that he had to kind of like adjust was the playoff game against Kansas City. That was a woeful throw in the cold, but he still made the catch, got a touchdown. Who cares about the throw? All they care about the end result. Got a touchdown. You can look at several games Tyreek went off on. The Las Vegas Raiders called the mug and between triple coverage and outran them. Touchdown. The only games that he didn't seem to show up in was the games that we struggled and we lost, but primarily because he is the offense. However, it's not about Tyreek right now. We're talking about Tua. And for me, what is Joe Platt getting out of this? Clout? Views, likes, comments. I mean, because there are people out there who really don't like Tua Tagovailoa, the player, not the person. But the player, to me, is becoming elite. Despite his mechanics and the way he throws the ball, he still can throw with the best of them. He can still put up ginormous numbers. He proved it this year. Now, Shannon had a point to where he said, what if he takes on Lamar Jackson? Last season, did Shannon not see the game that he put up 469 yards and 6 touchdowns? Just asking. Against Joe Burrow, he never got a chance to play head-to-head because Joe Burrow was injured his rookie year, and then Tua got injured when they played in Cincinnati. So he really hasn't had a chance to face Joe Burrow head-to-head on the field yet. Not for the entirety of the game, because one of them was hurt. So that's not a fair point. Patrick Mahomes is 2-0 against Tua. 3-0. He's 2-0 in the regular season and 1-0 in the postseason. But he also had at fair bipartisan numbers. So you're not talking about Tua really outshining somebody else, because in that playoff game, he did throw. He did throw for more yards than Patrick Mahomes in that game. I want to say he did. I go back and verify, but I believe he did. Even though he was in losing effort because he didn't get a touchdown. And had he just got 2 touchdowns, then the game would have swung to Miami's favor. But that's over with in the past. However, replacing him with Michael Penix will do nothing for your franchise, because now you'll be rebooting things to where the terminology and the language and stuff like that, you got to dumb it down with Michael Penix, and then you got to adjust to what he does well. And let's be frank here. I don't think Mike McDaniel would actually go out of his way to bring on a rookie when he's in his 3rd year as a head coach, trying to get a few playoff wins in the Super Bowl appearance and win it all. Why would I bring in a rookie quarterback for that, when I have a proven veteran who's been through the system, who's went through several OCs, who went through the grind, the struggle, the halt, the rebuild, the reboot, and all that stuff, for a franchise that has a beyond harsh fan base and a desperate owner. So if you replace Tua, if you somehow, stupidly enough, decide to trade this kid for pennies and nickels, then what are you telling your franchise? That you don't care about winning. Because next season, I truly believe they win 13 games. They have the places in peace. They have the pieces in place. Whoops, sorry. All they got to do is fine-tune the defense and get an offensive line in front of him that's going to give him the time he needs to go from 1, 2, 3. And if he makes better sound decisions, like he said, he has 4 things he needs to work on in the offseason. I want to see those acquisitions that he work on. I want to see those acquisitions be comprised of the progression and results on the field from week 1 moving forward. Even at the end of the season, I really want to see it pick up. I don't want a regression. I don't want to lose games we're supposed to win. Now, we lose hard-fought games, that's a part of it, but I'd much rather see them dominate who they're supposed to dominate and hang with big teams, with better teams, and get a better record for next season. and then going to the playoffs as a healthy team, looking to make this final push to get to the Super Bowl with him leading the way as a quarterback. But Joe Clack, I had to disagree with you on this respectfully. I don't see what you're trying to do with this. I mean, maybe you sparked up a hell of a story, but replacing Tua with Michael Penix wouldn't make no sense. Explain to me, Joe Clack, what are you getting for replacing him? What are you getting? Because clearly the locker room respects him. He's not a diva. He ain't crying about no contract. He ain't worried about no contract. He lets his agency handle that. He ain't crying about the way the fan base feels about him. He addresses things that needs to be addressed, but he doesn't waste his time or energy on things he cannot control. And next year, I think he'll be back more determined, more hungry, because it'll be his 5th year, and he's got to get a playoff win. At least one, preferably. I want him to get 2 or 3. That way, he can make an AFC Championship game and possibly win it. He wins the AFC Championship, gets to the Super Bowl. Hell, if you win the Super Bowl, it's over. The fan base gonna go crazy, but I guarantee they will also give a lot of credit to other people. It won't be because of Tua. But we're gonna see how this next season shakes out. But that's my take on it, guys. I don't see the point in trading him. I honestly don't. Especially for an unproven rookie who will have no experience, no real value that he can bring to a team because of his lack of actual game time experience. Plus, week 1 will be a shell shocker to him because the speed of the game is much different than in college. He's going to see that firsthand depending on what team he goes to, because they're going to throw him in the chute right away. Especially if he's a top 5 pick. He's going to be playing week 1. And Miami don't have a top 5 pick, so why would they? Are they expecting Michael Penix to drop that far? Even if he does, why draft him? He's going to be further behind Tua in terminology in the playbook than anything. So are you really going to take a chance on that? Just saying. But let me know what you guys think, man. Peace.